Now recording.
Oh, that's the original. That's the original medallion, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not the original. It's the second. The original was.
Yeah, the original got stolen, didn't it?
Well,
Like
see,
he got tricked into sending it to someone.
No.
I heard that was made in prison. That's why.
That's the one. No. That's the one that that was made before prison.
Okay.
That's the one.
Okay.
That's actually the second one. Do you want me to tell you what happened to the first one?
I think I remember.
I think I know, but go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Chris was coerced by trolls to cut it up into pieces and shove it up his. And Chris did that.
Yep.
So
see, this is why I think
Tommy,
that he.
Well, that's when me and Tommy were talking about that when I had him on my podcast last week. It's not a far-fetched thing, and he is right on to something there that he is easily coerced into saying things.
Yes.
And it's not a far-fetched thing to think like it never.
How many
happened.
quote unquote girlfriends has he had? You know, when he was.
We've
Chris.
had Julie. We've had.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on and on of how many like troll. But I mean, Chris has like a real girlfriend now. Can you believe it?
Yeah, going back to the thing, shoving the emblem up as of hers or whatever. What there was, I don't know if it was during. I don't think it was during that, but it was some part where like that. One of the really young trolls that was very well known during that time was like, yeah, now do this. Yeah, now do that. Yeah, now light your house on fire. And everyone's like, whoa. Like all the trolls are like,
everybody in that call immediately shut him down. Because they were getting amped up. So it's like, I think Chris obviously has always had the limits, even though Chris is very much autistic. And I think it goes beyond autism because early on, Chris had talked about being in the special needs school. And back then they treated autism a lot differently than they treat it now. I mean, that's been like Chris's 41 or 42.
That's wild to think about.
Yeah.
So, okay, Chris is 41 or 42. So when Chris was a child and, early diagnosed with the autism, I mean, this is like over 30 years ago. So they were treating it a lot differently back then. So Chris had talked about being abused and, talking about even sexual abuse that happened while he was in that school. So when you take that autism and then you take, maybe some abuse and also some, his dad was older and both of his parents were actually older when they got married and they were starting all over again.
How long have you been like focused on the history, the Christory of Christian?
The very first time that I ever heard about Christian was probably like around 2007-ish.
Wow. So you go way back.
Yeah. So it's like, you would kind of follow along what was going on and then you would, it would fall off for like a while. So it's just been kind of like back and forth, but it goes way back to that. So just the fact that, I mean, if you told 2007 me that I would still be following in 2023, that's insane. That's actually insane.
Are you autistic? I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
It could be. You know what? That's not far-fetched. I very well.
What are your feelings on Sonic the Hedgehog and Pikachu?
Yeah. You know what? I'm really not all that into it, so I think I actually may not be there.
Do you like trains?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. I got
well, there you go. Then that's your autistic tell.
We won't talk about the trains.
Yeah.
What are you, Keffels? What are you, Keffels? You're going to take a date out to like an autistic date? What did she say? What did Keffels say? Something about she likes to take autism girls to fucking trains because then she can or something. I don't remember. I just remember that. I was like, is that a train?
I feel like if Beavers were here, he'd be like, based.
Yeah. By the way, we were all talking about the pronouns here. Someone who is a stickler for the Christian pronouns is Tipster. Tipster.
Literally tipster.
I was gonna say, why haven't we brought Dojen on earlier for
tipster
episodes?
Tipster.
Like, it's another person
Chris
I think there was somewhat of an embarrassment to bring her on because she showed us the way and we didn't go. We turned our back on her.
Is that why? Is that the reason?
Yeah, we turned our back on her and we followed the tipster.
Everybody did,
the whole time.
But I'll tell you what, I know Mitch was always on my side, so he's absolved like 100%.
Me too.
No way, Mitch was always worried about his tipster follow, bro.
No,
you
no,
really?
it wasn't.
You traitor.
No. Do not.
You
no.
traitor.
I missed it. I was like, how the fuck is he not unfollowing me?
Hipster still likes you.
Why?
Oh, Mitch. Mitch.
Because he doesn't pay attention.
You know what? Actually, I'm having a bad internet connection. I might need to go.
Oh no! Before we watch the video.
Hipster gets us again. No.
I have 2 people on notifications on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And I put Chris Chan on notifications a long time ago because probably about a month ago, Chris was liking tweets again, but not tweeting. And I was like, I need to hit this because I need to know.
As soon as it
I need to know the first one I did. So it's like I hit that, and when I saw that, I just was like, the floodgates are opening, and I expected to upload, but I didn't expect it so fast. And now Chris is just spamming upload nonsense. But this was like, this was like almost like Christmas for me in a way. Like, let's go.
Oh yeah. Do you remember where you were when you found out that he may have his mom?
What's funny about that is it was probably maybe like a couple of months after I finally got my own medallion from Chris.
I think I remember you tweeting that.
Yeah, I got it.
Wow,
okay.
so it's like that happened, and then as soon as that happened,
well, I didn't know because Chris had their Etsy shop closed for like months, like forever.
Can't sell anything.
It opened. Yes, I did. Okay, so this is what happened. It opened up again. Belle Delphine messaged me and said, "Hey, Chris's shop is open again." And I was like, "Get the fuck out," because we've been talking about trying to get one. And I said, "Get the fuck out." Yeah, we did. We did the girl shut up. And so I ordered one. He ordered one. I got mine first because I was in the US. She got hers because she's all the way out in the UK. So it took longer. And Chris, mine looks like a standard Sonichu Medallion. Hers looks like it's on meth for some reason. She said to me, he was like, "Why does mine look like it's on meth?" And he didn't make any certificates.
Yeah, I wish he had like a serial number so you can know what batch you had.
Used to do No. Chris actually used to do handwritten stuff.
That's so based.
And doing that. Now I have an envelope. The only thing that I have with Chris's writing is an envelope with my name and address on it. That's having something in Chris's
basically
writing
an autograph.
It's pretty cool. Like, I think it's pretty cool. So a lot of people were telling me you should donate your medallion to assault victims. And I was like, but why should I do that? We don't even know if it actually, we don't know what went down.
How would you do that? How would you donate a medallion to sexual?
There was a couple of people. You remember when when Chris was making the amiibos? Like,
yes.
Chris was making like Sonichu amiibos and
somebody
they look like they look like they smell, by
they
the way.
work?
Yeah.
Would you put them on the Nintendo?
I think that they do.
I
think that they're actual like amiibos that like Chris like repurposed. And people were selling those and then giving it away to charity. And I had a couple people pressure me, and I was like, "Fuck the fuck no! I'm sorry. It's not that I don't care about sexual assault victims. Right. It's like
this is mine.
This is historic. And if Chris goes to jail forever, there may never, because I might have gotten some of the last batch of medallions."
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to ask. Do you think that you had one of the last ones that he did right before he did what he did with his?
I think I might have had one of the last batches because.
Well,
can you imagine?
Mom, maybe he was in the middle of making it, and then he put it down, had a break, and then returned to making it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I know that you know a lot about the lore. Does Chris Chan wash their hands, or like how does that work?
When I handle the medallion,
I think what D-Max is trying to say is, what did it smell like?
I'm just saying,
I always wash my hands. After I pass,
you treat it like uranium. You put on a full suit.
Exactly. No, seriously.
Use tongs.
It's like a Chernobyl effect.
I handle it as little as possible.
Yeah.
I did take a little like a black light to it. It's okay.
Just to see what it's got.
Wait. Why would you do that to yourself? Like, ignorance is bliss. What if you found like a new fucking
not ignorance,
element?
It's Chris. Now, Chris actually...
Ignorance is Chris.
According to Gamer from Mars, because I did ask him, because he did, that documentary, actually right before like Chris, like, this came out. So like he didn't even know what to do with it for a little bit. I did ask him, what did Chris smell like? And he goes, Chris really didn't smell like bad themselves. It's just the house really reeked of like, pet urine, and it was just really, really, really gross.
Oh God.
So surprisingly, Chris actually didn't stink. So
yeah,
there you go. There you have it. So there might be some hygiene
I was
going on with Chris.
Yeah, I was just hoping that there was a little bit of DNA on one of these medallions in case we ever get cloning technology. I'm just saying. Like,
Well,
Muda
told me there might be barbussy juice on it.
There you go.
From his hand.
Oh God. Well, I was gonna say I have a story about where I was when I found out that Chris fucked his mom. I woke up late, had no idea what was going on. Shot for the Point was about to start, so I was like, "Oh shit, this is I'm late for Shot for the Point. I got to get in there." It's Tommy and Verse in there. I get in there, and Tommy comes in. He's like, "Oh, good, you're here. Look, Christian just fucked his mom, and we're gonna go live in 5."
Oh my God!
3,
Wow. See, that's a good way to find out. Just fucking one hit, one sentence. Christian fucked his mom.
Yeah.
I remember I was at this girl's house. I woke up, and because of the time difference, it had been going on overnight, my time, everyone making memes. And so I found out slowly there was memes about Chris Chan having sex. Oh, Chris Chan got laid, blah, blah, blah. And then there were some other people said, I hope Barbara's okay. And then I was like, wait, what? And then I pieced it together slowly, and then I went, oh my God. And then the girl whose house I'd stayed at, not an internet person at all, and they're like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "How much time you got?" I'm like,
you cannot explain that to somebody that doesn't know. There's just no way possible. This is why outside like the internet, I don't let anybody know about like all this fucking autism, because there's no way that I can explain it without looking like a complete insane person.
Mark my
yeah, because
words,
people go, "Why do you spend time with that?"
I was gonna, yeah. You think there'll ever be like a Netflix series based on?
No,
Christian?
I think
thought about that. I thought about whether it's either going to be a Netflix series or some indie fucking thing is going to do like a movie.
I want like a job style movie, but about
I do
Chris
too.
Chan.
I do.
You know what I mean? That'd be so epic.
I don't know. I think I want the Making a Murderer type Netflix show, but it's like
no, because they're gonna steal a lot. They're gonna steal a lot from Gino.
Yeah, but that well, that's true. Netflix tends to not pay people, right? Like
they need to pay. They need to pay people. They need to pay people because they'll be like, oh, we'll give you a producer credit, but then they're not going to pay people. So I want to see Gino get paid. Like he's put in the blood, sweat, and tears for years. So
no, that's a good point.
Sonichu, Oedipus. There's something there.
Who could play Christine Chandler?
Ryan Gosling.
Mitch.
Oh, Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
I was thinking Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
I'd get Philip Seymour Hoffman if he was alive.
Oh, that would have been perfect.
In a wig.
Yeah, that would actually be the faces. The faces like there, like he could do it.
What if John Candy were still alive?
He'd do it.
Too big. Too big.
I know, but that'd just be silly to look at. It'd just be funny.
It'd be
like an
I still
SNL
can't believe. I'm sure people were afraid. Like, God, I hope Christian doesn't like smother his mother in her sleep or something. No, instead he had sex with.
He just
allegedly. Now he
Allegedly.
said that he was found innocent. I think the state we can't look at the records, but I think the state of Virginia just kind of dropped the case.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first time ever a judge just went, "Fuck it, I don't know."
Yeah, I
bangs the gavel. It's just like that's it. That's all I got.
He sat for like 2 years without like a trial. You know, at some point you have to fucking take it to trial and do something.
Violation.
It is. So they dropped it and just said, time served, you're done, get the fuck out of here. It wasn't that he was innocent. It was just like, I think it was just like a time served kind of thing. Yeah.
Based.
Not innocent, but not guilty.
I don't want to get to the gates of heaven and then I'm just standing in a queue with a bunch of fucking Christians, and that's going to be
moving
me
around at the speed of sound. Got places
no, they
to
become
go.
Normal when they go to heaven. They're fine now. They're like, oh my God, my life was so insane because I did not.
That's even more fucked up.
No, yeah, I mean,
because then God has to look them in the eyes and be like, trolled you, bro.
Sorry about
Shit
that.
Happens.
Yeah.
Genetics are a bitch, ain't it?
Oops.
Anyway.
That whole free will thing?
Well,
that whole free will thing, you had a cousin that fucked another cousin like 3 generations ago.
God's just like, well, if you didn't want to be autistic, then maybe your fucking 45-year-old father shouldn't have had sex and impregnated a fucking 38-year-old woman. You wouldn't be here.
What, God?
Based in true. Based in true.
But also, I would like to point out that the medallion has been turned around. I don't know what the relevance of that is.
No, the Medallions looked like that for several years. It's got
It
like
looked
that.
like he stuck his dick in it.
It's got like that fucked hole in the head. It's just, it's so filthy. But like what it's made out of, like you really can't clean it. Otherwise, everything will come off of it. So you just keep
And you can't convince him to get a new one because he'll just start hitting himself. Like, Chris, I just put a new one on. No, he starts hitting himself.
Oh,
so
it's gonna break.
Really,
He's gonna hit on his head. Yeah.
There's like a significance to it because that's where like that's how something about like how Chris and Sonichu can switch bodies and how they like she can go back.
Oh, is it like one way it's Sonichu and the other way it's Chris Chan?
No, but it has something to do with going back to the other like dimension. There's some bullshit about that.
Be right back. I gotta charge this crystal really quick.
There is nothing wrong with being associated with me, period. I am sick and tired of being blocked by anyone, including and especially by those of whom I appreciate. And I do have friends that do have great appreciation of me, which more than I can say than some. I mean, you all, even Megan Schroeder, had your chance to actually be kind and compassionate.
Okay,
and
hold on a second. I was screaming when we got to this part because he's taking it back to fucking 2002.
Yeah,
he's taking it all the way back to Megan Schroeder. Like, why did you go? Like, Chris, you got to get over that now, man. Like,
is that the girl in the picture? That's Megan?
The original girl that he had a crush on, and she was kind of using him a little bit because he would buy her stuff. He would buy her like MLP stuff, and because they used to go to like the game store, and I think they were playing Pokemon together, and that's how they met. And she knew that Chris liked her, so she kind of used that to her advantage a little bit. And he's very, very scorned by Megan. This is like basically really kind of like pre-troll days in a way. Like this is before he started getting heavy trolling. So Megan is just like a way callback. I was screaming. I was like, bro, it's been like 20 years. You got to get over Megan, dude. Like it's over. Yeah, that's Megan.
Yeah. I think
look at that medallion. That's the original, I guess.
That's
found
the
her,
OG.
like,
yeah.
I think they found her at one point, and she's.
They did. They found her Facebook. She's married, and she's just like, "Leave me the fuck alone, please don't even talk about that." I
Still
don't
part of the
want
Kiss
to
Army. Yeah.
Could you imagine you take a couple pictures, you interact with this autistic guy, now you're on the internet forever.
Forever. Yeah. Nice.
So I wanted to ask though, do you think this is the end of the movie, or is this just the beginning? Are we at the halfway point?
we are only at the halfway point. Chris has been spam uploading a bunch of stuff. Chris has a lot of lost time to make up for, like 2 years. As much as Chris doesn't want to be trolled, Chris wants to be like in the spotlight, like for sure. So definitely wants to make up some, like, look at the shit that they've been uploading the last like couple days. I'm not watching that shit. Like that's like
Angelica Rose True Christmas play.
That is a literal
part 2.
like. Happy for you. Sorry that happened. Are you reading that?
Yeah.
Exactly. Only if there's a controversy. But we're at the halfway point. Definitely.
More than likely. I think this is never going to end until he dies, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Like,
it's true. It's the Truman Show. It is. Yeah,
real
life
really
Truman
is.
Show.
Exactly. The nice thing about Chris, right, is no matter how much he gets trolled and stuff, he's too to ever hurt anybody.
Yeah, hold on. What did she sound like?
There's this Barbara Chan.
My name is Barbara Chan.
It's pretty good, actually. Yeah.
What do you want to know?
Barbara, stop looking at me like that.
Why are you looking at me? Yeah, she looks like one of the things that would pop out at you at like Haunted Mansion and Disney.
Barbara, why do you look
I
like
literally told you she was asking for it. Didn't I tell you?
Yeah.
With those eyes, I guess.
Yes.
Barbara,
why do you
was
look like you're
asking
utterly terrified, Barbara?
Well,
it's gonna be okay.
you can't say she didn't see it coming. All right, those eyes are wide open.
I was just looking up Chris Chan. I don't know what the fuck this is, but I'm gonna send it to D-Max because it literally says Chris Chan being racist at Indian restaurant.
Oh, okay. So this was when Gamer from Mars was filming his documentary.
Oh, okay.
Art was mortified beyond mortified, and I'm just gonna tell you, Munahar told me that if he was there, he would have laughed so fucking hard It's not even funny because of just how autistic this clip is. So
Let me see this. Holy shit.
Amazing.
It smells good in here.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty empty.
Oh boy, okay, now I just feel like I have to do this. First time in here, I feel like I gotta do this. Hello, my name is Apu. I went to
Oh my god.
You don't have to do that.
Art wanted to crawl under a table and die. Like Art was like, I legitimately wanted to fucking die. You're like, no.
You could tell the YouTubers, no.
Now there is a possibility. That Art will make the pilgrimage back to Ruckersville to do an update. Mudahar, if he goes with them, I'm going. So, Christian collab it's happening, boys. If this happens, it's happening.
Oh, bro. If that happens, holy shit.
That is going to be the literal what the fuck is my life moment.
Yeah.
Like everything's
I need
gonna
you to do a body odor check. You need to do a sniff.
I'm not touching Chris, so I may not be able to know exactly what, but I'm not.
So wait. You're fine with like having a medallion that's been touched by Chris, and God knows what kind of ways. And
touching Chris is a different story. That's a different story.
So long as there's 1 degree of separation, I guess it's
easier said than done.
Are you afraid?
Chris is slightly. I have a feeling that Chris is maybe a little gropey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to take Mudahar with you so you can show
he said he doesn't want me to go. He was like, "You're not going," and I was like, "I'll be fucking goddamned if you're going to Virginia without me. I'm going." And he's like, "He has to." There's distance that needs to be maintained, like social distancing. Because that was his concern. He was like, like he's No.
I'm just saying, imagine being able to go forward in life saying I was groped by Chris Chan. I'm just saying, like, positive, negative.
Like I said, easier said than done. It's kind of like earlier they were talking about like the Sniper Wolf stuff, and like Vito was on there making some argument that he wanted an argument that literally nobody was making, where it's like, well, I don't care if somebody shows up in my house, and it's like, okay, but you don't know what that situation's like until you're in it.
Yeah, fair enough.
With Christian, you don't know what that's going to be like until you're in it, and I may completely check it out. So if that
okay, Christian walks up to you, looks at you, square in the eye, and says, "You're the new Rose Chew." What do you do?
What does that mean? I'm kind of I would be confused. Like, what does that even mean?
I feel like that's a possibility, though. I feel like that's something he might do. I don't know.
Can you make me a Rosachu medallion that's my own?
The first one? Oh my god!
Can I get something out of it?
The collector's item of all collector's items, right there.
If I could get like something that's custom that Chris only makes one time, then hell yeah, let's go.
Hell yeah.
So this is the last clip I have. This is the obvious.
Everyone here, my mother, my father, angry at me. They're blaming me. It's my fault. I admit it's my fault. I want everything about my house off the internet. I'll send in detectives. I'll send in police. I'll send in everything in my power to get it off the internet.
Listen to me.
Aw, Bob.
Listen to me. Yes. Shut that goddamn thing off.
Aww.
I was literally about to say his fucking dad is like, fucking shut up.
No, you know what? Do you know what the context of this is? Anybody know?
Well, his house is on the internet, right?
Yeah, Chris. The Chandler family, notorious hoarders. Their house is practically unlivable because there's so much stuff and everything's like a mess. Chris did like a fucking video camera tour and sent it to like a couple of his supposed friends, but they were trolls and they started posting it everywhere. And when Chris found it, Bob was pissed. Bob was like, I don't care how you do it, you gotta get it down, because he just basically put the whole hoarding situation like public. So Bob was not happy.
Complain.
What you do? You get all that stuff off of there tonight.
I'm working on it.
Go work on it.
I am.
Do you realize something? Let me tell you. If the health department of Greene County sees those videos that you put on the damn internet, they could condemn our house.
It's like, I know my house isn't livable.
I live this way, but I don't want anybody to know it.
That's self-awareness. Like That's self-awareness level like 999. Holy shit.
Yeah.
This is a shithole, but it's my shithole.
I've worked hard for this shithole.
I'll protect it with my life.
That goddamn
This is
stuff
my
off of
cow
there
pie.
I'm working on it. I was making a YouTube
There it
video.
is. That's my favorite.
Goddamn stuff off of there and fast.
I'm working on it.
I'm working on it.
I posted that when Dylan Dennis and fucking Logan Paul were having their press conference, and then he was like, "Have you paid back the crypto zoo yet?" And Logan was like, "I'm working on it." He literally said, "I'm working on it." I was like, "No, he did not just do a Christian."
Why won't you take my $1 million bet?
Why won't you pay back to people from Crypto Zoo?
I'm working on it.